Autumn Nation Series Team of the Week for the final round of the series, round 4. And it's a weird one with the old Team of the Week. I tend to go through these videos and I can kind of come to a balance in my mind that that's fair. It's a good representation, even if it's not perfect. But this is one of those weeks where every time I've looked at this team, which I've chopped and changed multiple times, I'm still not that happy with it, but we got to get it done. Time is a factor. So we'll go through it. And you guys can let me know your thoughts on who you would have had if you were picking a 15 for round 4. Start with some props. And I'm actually going to start with one of the losing teams. I'm going to start with loosehead Stephen KITSHOFF. And he's kind of like representative for me of just the Springbok forwards generally, because he himself doesn't have any startling stats. Like, he's listed with one site as 0 run meters, although the official site for the Autumn Nation Series, who I don't think is using Opta, is at 0. Is at 9. So he's either at 0 run meters or 9 run meters. Remember, he only plays like 36 minutes. 2 from 2 tackles, no turnovers conceded, 1 pass, no penalties conceded. But basically, the scrum got progressively more dominant from the Springboks as the game went on. So he kind of represents that in an individual, which is not really what Team of the Week is about, but you do need to admit that the Springbok front row was absolutely turning the screws in the second half of that England game. So, yeah, that's kind of how you go with the prop there, Stephen KITSHOFF. The stats don't do it justice, but yeah, there you go. That's what it is. The other prop I've picked is much more of an individual stand-up performance, albeit from a very good front row in its own right. Tadhg Furlong, goodness gracious. What doesn't he do? There's been jokes about him moving to the midfield for a reason, man. Look at this guy. 37 run meters for a prop is phenomenal. Beats 4 defenders, has a clean break. What's a prop doing getting a clean break? I don't know. 4 passes and an offload, 6 from 7 tackles. And he can scrummage, just FYI. He's pretty handy with the old scrummaging. So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he does have 2 turnovers conceded and a penalty conceded if you are looking to diminish the effort that he had. But that guy is phenomenal. And these two are probably like my preferred props in the world. Like, probably my favorite loose head and my favorite tight head. Just saying. Neither of them are All Blacks. The All Blacks front row at the moment doesn't have that kind of beef, apparently. But there you go. KITSHOFF and Furlong. Hooker, I've gone with a Frenchman in Pietro Molvaka. Scored a couple of tries, didn't he? Not always easy to do against the All Blacks, but 2 tries. Both from mauls, but one where it's basically his whole pack goes over, and the second one he does well to kind of pick the moment to peel away and absolutely powers over. The All Blacks maybe could have done a better job at stopping him, but no. Beats 2 defenders, has 7 from 8 tackles. He's not perfect at the line-out time and does concede a few penalties, but I'm giving him credit. Again, maybe sometimes you got to give credit to the rest of the forwards with that more effort. It's not a one-man job, but the second one, as I said, has a bit of individual decision-making and power about it as well. So there you go. That is your front row. Locks, and I don't usually pick a heap of losing players, but it was a close game, so you can kind of justify it. EBEN ETZEBETH. Is this the 3rd week I've picked him in a row? He's just been on another level at the moment. He's just like James Ryan was like that for a while, maybe 2018, where he was just seemingly, Brodie Retallick's been like that as well for locks, like when these guys just seem Maratoje as well at times. But at the moment, it's just about Big Eben, isn't it? He's just been phenomenal. He gets 41 run meters for a lock. That's rather large. That's a rather large number. Goodness me. 2 defenders beaten and a clean break. Like, what's he doing getting a clean break as well? He has 3 passes, and we need to start a petition that he's never allowed to pass the ball again. He just needs to carry into contact. He's not allowed to run at space either. He should be running at defenders because he's just such a mountain of a man. But anyway, very entertaining game from him. 11 from 11 tackles to the top South African tackler. Wins 6 lineouts, which was the top lineout man in the game. Gets a lineout still. He does concede 2 penalties, but overall, Big Eben was kind of ever present in that Springbok performance. And kind of likewise in the Ireland game, and I'm pretty pleased because this guy is also one of my favourite players, Tadhg Beirne. Maybe I just like guys named Tadhg, I'm not sure, but he's also that guy that can just do a bit of everything. I mean, I don't mean to compare him to an All Black, but Brodie Retallick, when he's at his best, is a great ball carrier, is great at the breakdown, a big tackler, and Tadhg Beirne just does all that same stuff, right? He's phenomenal at the breakdown. He wins a couple of turnovers. He wins 7 lineouts, so he's doing his core role plus a bit of back row stuff. He gets 20 run meters and a try. He carries the ball 11 times, so he's very busy. He makes 10 from 12 tackles, so there's a couple of missed there, but we'll kind of forgive him for that. 8 passes. Did I mention the lineouts deal? He concedes 1 penalty, but man, the guy is just, yeah, he's another one of my favorites. Just those guys who can do a bit of everything. It's very easy to like them. It's kind of very obvious. Like guys who, you know, just kind of graft sometimes don't get the love as much. So, yeah, I'm a little bit guilty of going with the kind of flashy. I mean, if you can call winning turnovers flashy, but yeah, Tadhg Beirne. Very, very good player to watch. Back row, maybe a bit of graft from this guy. Courtney Laws for England was captain in the absence of Owen Farrell. He kind of led the side pretty well. It's another one of those ones where the stats don't match up. One side's got him at 1 meter and one side's got him at 15. So kind of take your pick from there. Beats a defender, has 4 passes. Like defensively, just a bit of a rock, isn't he? 9 from 9 tackles, big physical presence and big in the air. Wins 4 lineouts. So he's the main guy for England at lineout time. He does concede a penalty as well. But yeah, he's England's top tackler. He's the top line-out guy. He makes 4 passes for a back row, which is good involvements. And either makes 1 or 15 metres. Kind of take your pick. So, yeah, Courtney Laws. Thought he was pretty good. A Welshman here in TAINE BASHAM. And he's looked really good. I've only kind of come to know of him in recent times. This year, certainly. And he's just an absolute workhorse player. Very, very busy. And, yeah, he's certainly got a big career ahead of him, doesn't he? It was a hard one, that Aussie-Wales game, because it was a bit ugly at times. Sometimes it was kind of a bit scrappy. But TAINE BASHAM still manages to find a way to kind of stand out. 20 run meters and a clean break. Beats a defender. 16 from 17 tackles is a huge shift. He's first in that game. I think the next best was 13 from 1 Aussie and 1 Welshman. Doesn't concede any penalties, so... yeah, just very busy, getting through the work. It's always a pleasure to watch a 7 who just gets himself off the ground and just makes another tackle and makes another tackle. I had Papali'i in my team the other week for pretty much the same thing. Just makes another tackle. Like, you need guys in your squad like that, along with, you know, bloody guys like Furlong and ETZEBETH who are cracking up the run meters. So, yeah, there you go. And to round out... I've gone with CAELAN DORIS from Ireland, and he's, I think, 2 weeks in a row for him. He's been phenomenal as well. He has a try in his effort. He gets 36. He's not even the top try scorer in back row for Ireland. 36 run meters for him, which I think is down from last week, but it's still a pretty good number. Carries 11 times, so also very busy. Makes 11 passes, and he does have good hands for a back rower. You know, number 8s need to have that kind of skill set, and he's certainly got that in spades. 2 offloads in there as well. Beats 5 defenders. He is a hard man to bring down. 14 from 16 tackles, so he's got the work rate. Wins 2 lineouts, so he does a bit in the air. He's got a couple of handling errors and a penalty conceded, so no kind of perfect shift from him, but yeah. I mean, all the tries in that Irish game were scored by forwards. That kind of tells you something about the big physical presence. Guys like Furlong and Beirne and Doris and the other guys I haven't mentioned as well have got. So, yeah, there you go. That's your forwards. Backs. It's probably no surprise that you pick Antoine Dupont at 9, right? I mean, it was a tough one because it was the battle of Aaron Smith, the kind of old guard, world-class halfback up against Antoine Dupont. He's not, can we call him the youngster now? I mean, he's been around for a wee while, but yeah, Dupont was certainly the more impressive of the two, wasn't he? But that probably helps that your forwards get on top as well. But Dupont has a try assist. He sets up into Mark for that cut back inside. He has 36 run meters of his own. Beats 8 defenders along the way, and that is just something that he seems to have a kind of unnatural gift for just being a really hard halfback to bring down. Like, there's not that many. Like, a lot of halfbacks have kind of got their own specific set of skills, right? Like Connor Murray's ability to put the ball, like, you know, on a pinpoint accurate spot with his box kicking was renowned a few years ago, and Faf de Klerk's ability to disrupt on defense. You know, there's different halfbacks with different skill sets. Aaron Smith's just kind of beautiful looking pass, but yeah, DuPont just beats defenders for fun. So yeah, 8 defenders. I think he's the top guy this week I've got for defenders beaten. Makes 6 from 7 tackles, 7 kicks, 38 passes. Does have 1 turnover conceded, but yeah, just such a difficult guy to play against, and the All Blacks certainly got a bit of a dose of that at the weekend. Another Frenchman, Romain Ntamack. That moment with him, like running out of his own in-goal area with Mo'unga and Geordie Barrett kind of flailing to catch him, as a rugby fan is like glorious, and as an All Blacks fan is also the stuff of nightmares. Just seeing the counter-attack like that is brutal. He gets a try where he cuts back inside. He runs for 95 run meters, so very kind of slick ball in hand. Beats 4 defenders, 4 clean breaks. 4 clean breaks! Come on, man. 8 passes, only the 8 passes and an offload, 6 kicks, so good distribution game. Makes 2 from 3 tackles and has a turnover conceded if you're looking for a mistake. But yeah, he was pretty good, wasn't he? Him and DuPont are quite a combo. Right, moving on from those 2 French guys who tore my All Blacks, kind of ran them ragged. Midfield, 2 weeks in a row, I've managed to chuck in Hunter PAISAMI from the Wallabies. I mean, he's still not Samu Kerevi, but he still looks pretty impressive. He gets a try assist, a nice little dinking kick through for Andrew Callaway for a try. He has 63 run meters, 3 clean breaks and 4 defenders beaten. So he was finding space in that Welsh defence. I think is he the one who kind of turned Hala Hollow inside out at one point? Like, yeah, he just looked pretty dangerous in a game where it was kind of hard to be outstanding for that kind of play. I mean, I know Tompkins got a clean break from that crazy moment with the old knock-on. Was it not a knock-on thing? But yeah, man, 11 passes and an offload. He only makes 1 tackle, apparently, 1 from 1. Ikitau, I think, was left to do more of the defending. But yeah, a quick line-out, penalty conceded. But overall, good forward ball from Hunter. And if Samu is going to be kind of in and out of the team with his Japanese club commitments, then Hunter is going to need to play some more time at 12, so kind of encouraging to see. 13 was one I was quite torn on, but I've ended up kind of going with Chris Harris. I was torn on multiple positions, I should say, but yeah, he gets man of the match in his game, which is maybe weighing on my mind that I should put him in there. But there were other good Scott's performance. I will get to some honourable mentions at the end, but he has 44 run meters in his effort from the midfield for Scotland. He has 2 defenders beaten and a pass, but I mean, it's largely his defensive shift that he has for Scotland, shutting down the Japanese attack, often preventing them from get wide, shoots up out of the line a couple of times, makes some big hits, 11 tackles from him, misses 3, has a turnover conceded, but yeah, good on attack when needed, and also very, very prominent in defence, which is kind of what he's known for. So, yeah, good effort from him. In a solid game, like I feel like on another weekend that Scottish win would be more talked about, but then with France doing what they did to the All Blacks, it kind of gets overshadowed a little bit, but there you go. Chris Harris. Outside backs, we're getting near the end. I actually kind of just managed to go with a player who's basically all go forward. Siosai Fafita from Japan. Again, talking about moments that are overshadowed, like Ntamack runs the ball out of his own goal area. It's all over social media. He pretty much did the same thing for Japan. Similar stuff, kind of running it from a situation where you would usually get yourself out of dodge, but he runs it. 102 run meters. The guy was getting some serious ball, and Japan do love to get it wide. Beats 7 defenders, which is second only to Ntamack. He has a clean break. He has 6 passes and an offload. He makes 6 from 8 tackles. He doesn't do a lot wrong. He doesn't get over the try line, but yeah, I think he might have been one of the guys who was trying to stop Darcy Graham from scoring out on the Scottish right wing, so his left wing, but unable to do so. That may be one of his missed tackles, but overall, fun player to watch. Big ball carrying winger. I mean, Duhan got a try, but it was kind of a pick and go. Like, these are normal Duhan van der Merwe numbers, so there you go. Fafita from Japan. Right wing, I've gone with another Frenchman, and Damian PENAUD. Scored a try. Nice wee intercept. It's more fun when I see the All Blacks doing that to other teams, but man, he did it pretty well against the All Blacks, didn't he? Intercepted that Havili pass. Gets that try. Seemed pretty pumped up. 66 run meters. Beats a defender. Wins a turnover as a clean break, which is that moment. He's pretty solid on defence, although he does miss the kind of Geordie Barrett try in the corner. Yeah, it's 2 passes from him and an offload, so part of this is just me kind of giving the French guys credit for the All Blacks defeat, but yeah, it's got to be done. And then lastly, I've gone with, and it's another man of the match performance from Freddie Steward. I've certainly fullback was tough. Fullback was the toughest one, but Stewart gets man of the match. He gets his try, he takes it pretty well. He's pretty solid under the high ball. He doesn't get them all from memory, but he gets most of them, which is always a tough one when you're playing South Africa. 58 run meters is solid, beats a defender, has 4 passes on the way, including kind of setting up his own try. I think he passes it to Malins, who ends up cranking it up, and then it ends up going back to him for his try. Has 3 kicks. He doesn't make 1 tackle, apparently. He's none from 1, but yeah, largely pretty solid at the back. So, yeah, as I said, it's a bit of a weird week. Even I'm not real happy with that team, but I had to pick somebody. In terms of the guys who I was also kind of thinking about, Jaminet, the fullback for France, probably should be there. But on the balance of things, he ends up not making it. He was ever present against the All Blacks. Heap of running, goal kicking. Kurtley Beale, even though he gets yellow carded, like sets up Nick White's try, makes that kind of clutch penalty for the Aussies. Hogg played really well at fullback for the Scots, kind of becomes their top try scorer. So that's phenomenal. In terms of props, Andrew Porter was also massive in that game. For Ireland, he's really looked the business at loose head, even though I'm more used to seeing him at tight head. Midfielders as well, Slade and Marchant. I mean, Marchant moved into the midfield after Tuilangi went off early. Like, they both looked really, really sharp, so they could probably easily be there. If I'm looking for All Blacks, because I've not picked any All Blacks, Rico Ioane had stupidly crazy numbers, ball in hand. Like, he scores a try and gets 150-odd run meters. Like, he was very, very slick in that department. Didn't do a heck of a lot defensively, but yeah. Josh Bayliss, in terms of back rowers, I think if I was going to pick a man of the match for Scotland, I probably would have picked Bayliss, but they ended up giving it to Harris. But man, he made a heap of carries, made a heap of tackles. Like, he was just absolutely ever present. It's kind of one of those ones where the backs get a bit more credit. But I mean, other loosies, Aldrit for France was huge as well. Got through a ton of work. Josh van der Fleer got a couple of tries from that Scottish Irish back row. Peter Amani as well. Came into the side late as a starter, but really performed well. Kolisi, he got a yellow card as well, but also was very, very present with his carries and with his tackles. Savia, if you're looking for All Blacks as well, always seems to have a good game, even when the All Blacks don't look that great. So that's kind of pleasing to see. Jenkins has been a revelation for Wales since he's kind of come back after a big absence. I could have mentioned him. I think I would have mentioned him at least every week. Tens, bigger, kicked all his goals. I know Priestland got the last one, but this weekend had a couple of games which the team which kicked all their goals ended up winning it. So Wales was one of those. Carberry got man of the match for Ireland, even though all the forwards scored all the tries, so that was kind of pleasing to see him get some time. Russell for Scotland ran the show well. Again, maybe gets a bit overshadowed, but he's still got that passing. Marcus Smith also. Mateo Carreras, haven't got Argentinians on the board, scored his try really well, although did fluff one a bit later. Malins for England when he came onto that right wing. Looked really sharp, got some good go-forward ball, put in one really nice kick. But, yeah, I could go on all day. I will not. That's pretty much it. That's the team for the Autumn Nation Series, which is now done and dusted. So, yeah, we've still got a Barbars game this weekend, and then your regular kind of club rugby gets back underway, the URC and the Premiership, and, I think the top 14 never stopped, did it? I don't know. But, yeah, that's it, guys. You guys let me know your thoughts. Who would you have if you're picking a 15? And I will talk to you guys again soon. See you later.